Hi, I'm astrologer Penny Dix, and welcome to the full moon's Astrobite. So it's the 12th of February, Wednesday, the 12th of February. We have a full moon in the sign of Leo today. Leo the line, fixed, and of course a fire sign. Now I do have an in-depth look at the energy of this full moon also on my YouTube channel, but I thought I'll just give you a quick kind of little dip into the main energies to first of all check in to see how you are with what's been happening over the last couple of days as we've been building up to this energy, and just for us to get a sense about how the next couple of days might unfold, because this is a powerful full moon and I'm recording these on Saturday the 8th of February. So of course I have no idea what might or might not have unfolded. As of today, for instance, because I'm going to talk about earthquakes, as of today, there are still tremors and minor earthquakes taking place in the Greek, around the Greek islands in the Aegean. And there was also last night I saw, or yesterday afternoon, quite a big minor earthquake. It was something like 5.6. Just north of Sicily, and I am of course just south of Sicily, so apparently the whole of Sicily was kind of just given a little bit of a shaking by that. So there is definitely a lot of energy in the Mediterranean on these kind of Mediterranean fault lines that are, and it's the tectonic plates, they're pushing against each other. And the reason why a full moon can affect it, and this is where we go into the science, and this is not, horoscope woo-woo stuff, but when the moon is full, the gravitational pull of the earth, the gravitational pull of the moon against the tides of the earth is greater. So the gravity is beaming down from the moon, onto the earth, through the sea. The sea is moving in kind of in kind of harmony, if you like, with the gravitational pull of what the moon is doing, and it's affecting the tectonic plates, and so they can shift. Now, whether there is or has been a bigger quake in the difficult areas that we have been highlighting today or over the last few days, we will wait and see. But it wouldn't be a surprise astrologically because of the astronomy and because of the science behind the astronomy. And this is where astrology, I think, is so fascinating, because it works. It does affect us. And so how does this affect us personally? Because I know that's what you want to know. Well, on the sort of the main planetary stage, we could see earthquake events in the sense of earthquakes in politics, earthquakes in the financial world, earthquakes to do with businesses collapsing or, going out of business. All sorts of things can happen around there. And also we have to bear in mind that Uranus also is the planet that rules aviation. Now, sadly, we've seen 3 air accidents in the last month, I think, 2 to 3 weeks. And the energy is really strong Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday today to bring that kind of energy to the fore. So hopefully nothing untoward happens. And hopefully any pilots that are watching will just make sure they take extra care when they're flying their machines around, because it's challenging energy for aviation today. So full moon energy is powerful. This is a T-square between the moon, the sun, and Uranus. And also we've still got the energy of Saturn trining Mars. So you've got this gentler energy. Saturn is trying to just slow things down a bit, and bring in a kind of sense of the Piscean ability to connect with the numinous, with the luminescent kind of energies of these higher frequencies that we can connect on. And Mars is almost like, the masculine, the divine masculine, struggling in the waters of Cancer, the emotions of Cancer, really struggling to keep above water. So I think the masculine at the moment, the masculine as an element, as a quality, will be finding this energy pretty tough. So any of you guys out there, really kind of think about how this is affecting you emotionally, because I think this full moon could be bringing up quite significant emotions for you. And just kind of taking you back to things and making you realize that certain things have got to change in your life, and change maybe for good. And that is quite hard for the masculine. For the feminine, well, for the feminine, the moon. The moon is full, and the moon is actually, in a sense, dominating this whole event, this whole day. And it's saying, get your energy into something creative. Be creative with your solutions to difficulties and problems. I've got a cat hair again. I've always got cat hairs, haven't I? They haven't even been around here. I think they just float around. Oh God, there it is. In the atmosphere, and they just kind of land on me, and I got it. My lovely little babies, my fur babies. So, right, I'm going to move on to the word for the day, because I thought with this Uranus energy squaring this moon and the sun, there's also an element of waking up, of awakening. What are you kind of going around with your eyes closed about that you need to wake up from? Where might you be deluding yourself? Where might you be deceiving yourself? Where might you be just not seeing things clearly? Because if you awaken, and I think there is something in the energy of this full moon that is about waking you up, then you will see things far more clearly. So let's have a look. So Deepak Chopra said, awakening is not changing who you are, but discarding who you are not. And that's like shedding the false self. Most of the time, we're not really the authentic person we are. We have different faces for different situations and different people. Wouldn't it be amazing if we were always our authentic self? But I think there is a fear sometimes that people can't take us neat. Can you take yourself neat or show yourself neat to others? Just a thought. Marcel Proust said, the real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new landscapes, but in having new eyes. And yes, when we wake up, sometimes it takes years to wake up from certain situations. We wake up and we think, oh, why did I not see this before? Why did I not see how they are before? Why did I not see the way they treat me before? Why didn't I see it? Probably because we didn't want to. But probably there was always a nagging little thought in there that was saying, it's not okay. You know what Buddha said? He said, each morning we are born again. What we do today is what matters most. I love that. I think that is beautiful. Good old Carl Jung, who was one of the grandfathers of psychoanalysis, and my training was Jungian, Kleinian and Freudian, so and eclectic. But Jung I've always had an absolute passion for because of the work he does with the unconscious and consciousness. And he said there is no coming to consciousness without pain. And it's true. You know, this goes back to what I was saying about, you know, if everything comes at a price. There's no easy way. There's no easy way to go through grief, for example. Loss, any of these things. There's no easy way. We just have to endure. We have to endure. Anne Neen said, and the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. That's a bit like the chrysalis, isn't it? And the butterfly coming out of its chrysalis because it can't stay in there any longer. It's got to come out. Then it discovers it's beautiful. So also we had Ramana Maharshi said, your own self-realization is the greatest service you can render the world. And it's true, and that's what I was talking about, when you're your authentic self. So why not with this full moon choose to let go of the false self? You know, Leo is about entertainment, being the entertainer. Maybe that's that part that we have to let go of, that part of us that puts on the, you know, the party animal, the party act, the fun person, the happy person, when we're not really feeling it. And, you know, it's like when people say to us, how are you? And you go, I'm fine, thanks. And they're really thrown if you say, actually, I'm terrible. Because, oh my God, they think, I don't want to know. I don't want to hear that you're terrible. I can't cope with that. So we build up this false front, this false persona. Pierre Teilhard de Chardin said, we are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We know this one. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. There's an unknown one here. Awakening means seeing reality as it is, not as you wish or fear it to be. So it's about being realistic as well. Awakening is being realistic. Rumi said, the morning breeze has secrets to tell you. Do not go back to sleep. He also said, you have to keep breaking your heart until it opens. Ain't that the truth? You know, it's really interesting because that reminds me of when I was singing, when I had my short singing career, and I was on a programme in the UK, which some of you in the UK will probably remember, called Opportunity Knocks. It was actually the penultimate show, so it was a non-voting show. So I didn't have the humiliation of losing potentially, but I was kind of chosen as the pretty young thing, because I was only about 21 then, who sang a pretty song in a pretty dress. But through that, I made some very good contacts. And for those of you that do remember it and remember who ran it, Hughie Green, they had the man that was in charge of the orchestra was a very good, brilliant musician called Bob Sharples. And I used to, through that, I went to him and had singing coaching. Coaching on how to sing lyrics, how to really make them into something much more meaningful other than just singing a song. And that's why I come back to this Rumi quote, you have to keep breaking your heart until it opens. And he said to me, you know what? You need to go and have your heart broken a few times. I can't work with you really until that's happened. So he said, I tell you what, go away, get your heart broken, then come back. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. But he was right, although it took me, of course, in a very different direction and not the direction that at that time I wanted to go or expected to go. But I went with the direction it took me. And of course, my heart being broken several times beyond that, that was sort of my early 20s, led me into training as a psychotherapist because I was so messed up. I had to go into therapy as a client or as a patient, as we were called in those days. And through that, started learning the astrology. And that's how I got on that path of astrology and psychotherapy and marrying the two together. So there's a little bit more about me. Anyway, on that note, full moon. It is what it is. Let go. Let go. Let God, as they say. Let the divine lift you. Take the strain. So thank you so much for joining me for this full moon episode. And please remember to like, comment, and subscribe and share. And I'll see you again very soon. Oh, we've got Valentine's coming up. Oh, which reminds me, Valentine's, I'm doing a live stream with Brandon Russ, and that's going to be 5 o'clock Central European time. And I'm also a little bit later that evening doing a live stream on my other channel, Channeling by Penny and Sarah, and we're going to talk about a subject that will be good for people who perhaps find themselves alone on these difficult days when it's making us feel like we all ought to be in couples and having romantic dinners under the stars. So anyway, join me for both of those, and I look forward to seeing you all next time. Bye for now. Bye.